When I was a publisher of CNN, I took responsibility for the actions of the network. You can never quit. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. Rupert Murdoch is the most dangerous man in the world. I have both sleep apnea and atrial fibrillation, which are both debilitating conditions. At Time Warner, I had 10% of the stock after the merger. But when we merged with AOL, I was diluted down to 3%. Even when I started in 1970, I knew that television was having a negative effect on our society. I wanted to better inform the world. I like snakes. I like hummingbirds. There's nothing on earth I don't like. Frogs. Salamanders. The bunnies, the giraffes, the hippopotamuses. I think we've already voted at the UN. In the Security Council, to get rid of nuclear weapons. Let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of ours and then Iran will stop, I believe. And so everybody else will, because if everybody doesn't have them, then we're safe, at least safe from a nuclear attack. It was a struggle financing CNN, but I did it without ever asking the government for a nickel. If you had the most prestige and you were the network that everybody turned to in times of a crisis, that was the most important position, in the news business, to hold. I travel a lot. I'm on the move. It's going to cost trillions of dollars to rework the energy sources all over the world. We're going to have to move away from fossil fuels. I believe in pulling together to make the country better right rather than tearing it apart for partisan reasons. I think the country comes first. I'm 68.5 years old, I grew up with newspapers, I love newspapers, I love the news business. I started CNN, I'm a journalist and proud of it. The sad thing about destroying the environment is that we're going to take the rest of life with us. The bluebirds will be gone, and the elephants will be gone, and the tigers will be gone, and the pandas will be gone. I just love it when people say I can't do something. There's nothing that makes me feel better, because all my life people have said I wasn't going to make it. I've got a virtually limitless supply of bullshit. Jesus Christ would have been considered just another long-haired hippie freak if he hadn't been crucified. The folks weren't impressed with healing the sick, feeding the multitudes bread and fish or anything else, except maybe the walking on water. But when he got crucified, that gave him his big start. It's been a long time since anybody caught me saying something stupid. The worst sin, the ultimate sin for me, in anything, is to be bored. There's really 5 companies who control 90% of what we read, see, and hear. If I had to predict, the way things are going, I'd say the chances are about 50-50 that humanity will be extinct or nearly extinct within 50 years. Weapons of mass destruction, disease, I mean this global warming is scaring the living daylights out of me. Struggling hard to achieve something is the most fun I get. I've always tried to do the smartest and best thing. I'd rather be smart and poor than rich and dumb. I just love it when people say I can't do it. There's nothing that makes me feel better because all my life, people have said that I wasn't going to make it. Make a way, find a way, or get out of the way. Hell, we spent $200 billion to get a scared guy who needed a shave out of a foxhole. And he may even die of prostate cancer before we even get a chance to try him, damn it. Be sure to set your goals so high that you can't possibly accomplish them in one lifetime. That way you'll always have something ahead of you. I made the mistake of setting my goals too low, and now I'm having a hard time coming up with new ones. Christianity is a religion for losers. Once again, victims of disaster have turned to the UN and the international community in their time of need. The world needs the UN's leadership in these times, and the UN needs the world's support. We are communicating with the UN and its agencies to learn where UN Foundation funds may be of greatest assistance to the UN's relief efforts. I'm sure God, wherever He is, wants to see us get along with one another and love one another. Basically, we are chimpanzees with about 2% more intelligence and a little less hair. What the Bible says is really true: it's better to give than to receive. To succeed, you have to be innovative. Christians are losers. I'm no genius. I'm not at all. I just happen to look 5 or 10 years ahead and think things through. Do something. Either lead, follow, or get out of the way. The word impossible does not exist for me. I've got a lot of signal flags in my flag bag, but there is not a white one in there. I am going to keep fighting until the day I die, and might keep on fighting afterward. Depends on where I am. If there is a God, He is not doing a good job of protecting the earth. He's kind of checked out. If you never quit, you're never beaten. The happiest people are those who are contributing to society. If people get all the sex they can handle, they're so happy and content they just sit around and smile. I mean, you never feel aggressive just after you've gotten laid, right? Lots of sex for everybody, that's a solution to the world's problems. If I sold all my liabilities, I wouldn't own anything. My wife's a liability, my kids are liabilities, and I haven't sold them. I'm just a socialist at heart. The more good I do, the more money has come in. You have to learn to give. You're not born to give. You're born selfish. Exposure to defeat is a very important thing. Anyone who doesn't look to get beaten is doing a disservice to himself. We'll be 8 degrees hotter in 10, not 10, but 30 or 40 years, and basically none of the crops will grow. Most of the people will have died and the rest of us will be cannibals. I like something with vice in it. I love this planet. I want to see the environment preserved and I want to see the human race preserved. And I'd like to see everybody living decently in a more equitable, kind-hearted, thoughtful, generous world. If you treat people with dignity, respect and friendliness, you can turn enemies into friends. An enemy is nothing but a friend in disguise.